off my ex and homies over.
If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
We play, our way,
I'd rather be me.
do work all day.
We don't see defeat.
Can we fly that? Can we buy that? We even run a full court, make it stack. Shout out to Maya Moore, the young guard, to all the girls like us, yeah, we go hard. See, this is how it feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. So proud of that we overcome. Do you know we gotta overcome? We bow down to none. I wanna hail out all my day ones. Time really does fly when you're having fun, but the party don't stop till we staring down the sun.
If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
Kick it! Kick it!
If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door. If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
There are men, and there are giants. Bass and stills in the building, flash the camera. I'ma drop the hammer. Things done changed, the hip-hop sizzle and Bobby out the slammer. Hip-hop start on the East Coast and then move west now down to Bama. I'ma bring it back to New York, hold those and throw your hands up.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, two teams come off tough losses a week ago and want to turn things back around today. It's the Texans going up against the Chiefs. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
All right, Larry, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Houston Texans and the Kansas. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And the kicker commits the kicker's cardinal sin. He kicks it out of bounds.
Automatic first down.
Charles, the lone setback. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here we go with Jamal Charles. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still first down.
And they're definitely showing blitz here. Charles. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now Jamal Charles on 3rd down. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he stopped immediately there. They get just... a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first note of it.
They'll start the drive with Jamal Charles. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense. 2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
A 1st down carry here for Charles. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not because you got to try everything.
And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Chris Conley, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. And he knocks it through.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So here comes a guy, Charles, I think you'd agree. He's getting more comfortable, but he still has some stuff to prove at this level.
Still has things to prove, but the expectation level has really jumped for him. He's shown so much potential along the way. Now people want to know, will he take it to the next level and bring his team along with that?
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Miller, the lone setback. To throw, it's Wentz. Caught, left side, it's Barnage. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now a play fake here on first down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Wentz to throw on second down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. They come out here in the eye.
And they insert their dime package. 6 deep know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
But when the highlight is shown of this play, all attention is going to be on the person running with the football. But how about the group as a whole? Setting up that big-time return, yardage that we won't even account for in the box score, may help them win the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Charles, the lone setback. And they'll give it to him here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Here's Cairo Santos now for the Chiefs field goal. This from 36 yards out. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Well, he got an early chance to redeem himself, and he's able to put that one through.
And he'll be happy he got a second chance so quickly after missing the first one. Now he's got the confidence back up before we even finish the first quarter.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And just one tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Hopkins, the one receiver right. They come out here in the eye. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And that'll be incomplete. The tight end Gary Barnidge, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
To throw is Wentz, surveying the field. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. The Texans send the punter out as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And heading back onto the field now, the Texans defense. And a really nice job last time. Offense had great field position, but they were able to hold them just 4 plays, and they had to hit the field goal.
We saw the benefits of practice there from the defense, though, didn't we? Because most teams, when they got that type of field position that they have to start defense on, they treat it almost like what we call sudden change. You know, after a turnover or a big kick return, whatever that field goal.
They bowed up all right. We'll see if they bow up again. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Charles. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And, boy, the reward was there. A big...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Jay Howard in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on third down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Wentz now to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. And that'll bring up fourth down on the big sack with a loss of 5. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And now here comes Kansas City. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And he is going to get the first down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. To the right side, it's Kelsey. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Again, it's Miller. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. So he runs it for 1 yard, then no gain. I don't know that you go back to that well here on 3rd down.
Yeah, I don't know that you do as well, but if you want to get the ball to him, if you want him to have it, maybe get him in the space and throw it to him.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down. minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
And now here comes Kansas City. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Second and 10. It's Ryan again. Looking for a right side here. Complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Here's Charles, and he is going to lose yardage here.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Second and 10 now. Ryan. He's going to go deep for Conley. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Ryan. And he's got his man. That's Maclin. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he comes back with one complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. And it's complete to Kelsey. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And into the red zone now. And Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that. The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Ryan will throw again. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Cairo Santos now for the Chiefs field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Now, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
Return team.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we've got, and hello, I guess Larry's halftime show was buttoned through, and we are moving on and ready to go for the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him a couple yards. He's out of bounds. And now out comes Houston. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now Wentz on the right side. This is Miller. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for them, too.
Wentz now on first down. And Barnage has it on the right side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Miller, the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. Muscles him off. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short and throw the football, you control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. On 3rd down. And he finds Barnidge. He's got it. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 6 yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
Completion left side to Miller. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. And again this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
To throw, it's Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
As they've done all day, they run with Charles. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Charles, the lone setback. He'll get the football here. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus...
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
Now a 20th carry here for Jamal Charles. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Kelsey out in the slot right. On 3rd down, Ryan. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 16. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. The Chiefs defense getting ready to roll.
And now Big Mo's wearing a shirt of their color. They're hoping to continue that momentum in their direction with maybe another pick.
Who's Big Mo? He's momentum, right?
Momentum. And right now, he's hugging them.
He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. And it's 2nd down.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to the running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball. And that didn't happen on that play. You know what really fires up?
We're back now in KC. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And he's got Miller. A huge play there for Houston. And even 40 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down. Red zone opportunity. They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans defense heading back out now, ready to get their cracks again. They'll be hoping to come up with that same type of effort they had last time when they forced the punt that led to a touchdown.
And that type of effort just continues to carry over. Because once you get it done once, you feel like you can do it again and again. It's no guarantee, but you got to like the confidence that they take back out into the field.
Now will they keep that confidence? Time to find out. Caught here by Conley. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second and 5. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now Ryan on second down. He's got the hook up with Conley. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Charles the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. Excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
On second down, here's Ryan. Caught, Kelsey, left side. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
They run. Charles. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Second down following the run. On second down, Ryan. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Here's Ryan to throw. Travis Kelsey, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. Now 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And here comes the Texans now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. 3 yards to go here on 2nd down.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Shotgun now for Wentz. He finds his target, Fuller. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. Now Wentz on 3rd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So we got 3 and 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
The down of the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Wentz going to go on 4th down, and he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Again, we'll see the pistol here. A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. A couple of cheats there to bring him down.
A good solid run there as we head towards the home stretch of this game.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll run it again with Miller. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Let's go. All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56. Gone.
To throw is Wentz. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Here's Ryan, and he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
On 2nd down, Jamal Charles. And he lost the football. Charles loses it, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football, but this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation.
After reviewing the play, the line on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. They begin the drive with Charles. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Justin Houston. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. Third and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Back to throw. Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And 4th down coming up. The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away.
That's a bold strike right there, taking it downfield and putting some air on it. But how about the coverage? Able to get his hands across the receiver and bat the ball down.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here, except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. First throw of overtime for Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's third down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Wentz going to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
On first down, it's Charles again. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And a cutback, right sideline. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
This is Charles. They find some open field here. Cutback, left sideline. And they do.
They're recommended they run it again. You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Now from back at the 5, this is third and goal. On third and goal, Ryan. Oh, so close, but incomplete. Could have been a big turnover in overtime if he'd held on. Instead, though, it's fourth down. So a big one coming now for Cairo Santos. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one.